What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I'm Ken, and today, guys, we are here to talk about The Last House on the Left, the remake from 2009 on 4K from Arrow Video. Now, this comes out on September the 12th. I got an early review copy in from MBD. So I will be talking about the movie, the transfer, the sound, the special features, the packaging, just painting an overall picture and letting you guys know if this is worth a pickup. I will also be linking it down below in the description if you want to use that link based on whether or not I recommend this here today. So like I said, this is the remake of Last House on the Left from 2009. The original actually does not have a 4K yet, and Arrow Video did a big box set of the original. So I do find that interesting. They did the remake on 4K before they did the original. Not that I'm complaining. I think it's pretty cool that they did the remake on 4K, but I wonder if they're going to do the original, circle around and do the original now that they've done the remake. But before we get into it, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. Turn on the bell notifications for all future videos. And let's talk about this movie for a little bit. This did come out in 2009. I remember seeing this. I don't know if I saw it in the theaters. I don't know if my wife and I maybe rented it, but I know that we watched it. And I really remember enjoying the movie. Now, I was never a fan of the original Last House on the Left. I saw it once, I think when I was 13 or 14. This movie was legendary, though. I remember my uncles, I remember my dad talking about this movie, just saying it was one of the most brutal, shocking movies that they had ever seen in their entire lives. And I imagine it was back in 1972. This movie predates the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This predates The Exorcist. So, like, for its time, it probably was a very brutal film, borderline exploitation film, given the subject matter of the movie. But when I watched it, for some reason, it just didn't quite live up to the hype for me. I just didn't enjoy it all that much. Now, I do want to go back and rewatch it because it's been a number of years since I've seen it, but I just remember going and seeing the remake and thinking this was a lot better than the original at the time. And I think the reason for that is this is a very low budget movie. I think Wes Craven said this was a $90,000 budget movie. So he doesn't have the best actors in the film. And I just don't think that it goes to the places that the remake does. Again, I could be wrong. I need to go back and rewatch it. But I feel like this is much more brutal. There's much more there in terms of the performances because there are actual credible actors in this movie. You got freaking Aaron Paul in the film from Breaking Bad, which just came out in 2009. Breaking Bad started in 2008, so I imagine he was just getting started. He probably filmed this around the very same time he did Breaking Bad because he's not really portrayed as the star of this movie. He's more of a side character. He does have some important moments in the film, but he's a great actor and he's great in this movie. You got Monica Potter's in this film. Tons of other people I recognize from other movies and stuff. I just can't quite pin down where I recognize them from. I think the one dude, the dad in this film, was actually on House of Cards, and then he was on a recent show my wife and I watched, Physical. So there's a lot of really good, credible actors in this film. A lot of people in this movie that are doing their jobs very well. The performances are fantastic. The places that these characters have to go, just on an emotional level, I think it requires that high level of acting. And I think that everybody just pulls off their performances so well. Like I said, just a brutal movie. It's a really thrilling movie. Like, you're on the edge of your seat. It's very tension-filled. It's suspenseful. It's just one of those movies that you're watching it and you know something bad's going to happen to these people. You know it and they don't know it. And you're just like, don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't go there. Don't go in there. And you're just screaming at these characters the entire time, which can kind of make it a little bit frustrating because it just feels like they're doing the stupidest things possible. But because they established the villains in the very beginning of the movie, so you know how bad these people are, which I think is super smart because it just adds to the tension the whole movie. You know how unhinged they are. You know how psychotic they are, how crazy they are right from the beginning of the movie. And when you see our innocent family interacting with them throughout the film, you know the places that they can go, but they don't know the places they can go. So it just makes it very tense. Now, one thing I will say, anybody that's sensitive to, we'll call them grape scenes for the sake of YouTube here. If you're sensitive to that kind of stuff, which who isn't? It's very hard scenes to watch unless you just watch these kind of exploitation movies all the time or something. There is a brutal grape scene in this film that is very hard to watch. Very hard to watch. And I remember it too from back in the day when I watched the original and then watching the remake and then watching it now. I'm like, this still just doesn't sit right now. Not that it's exploitative the way that it's shot or filmed or anything. I think it's all very well done. But it's a hard scene to watch. I mean, those scenes are always hard to watch, but it is something that I will say is very essential to the movie and the plot, and, you know, to where the parents have to go towards the very end, like, just makes it so much more realistic, and you just buy into it all that more because of what happened to their daughter. So they have to go to some very deep, dark places, and if they didn't have this happen to their daughter, you wouldn't understand them necessarily, you know, feeling like they need to go there. So it's a very necessary scene for the rest of the movie to set up the rest of the movie. And I think it's done very well. But the overall movie, guys, it's very brutal. I love the way it's shot. I love the way it's filmed. I think that everything in this movie is fantastic just across the board. The only real criticism that I have with this movie is it's too long. I think that they drag out certain stuff just a little bit too long. But like I said, they build the tension. Like, it feels like, I don't know exactly what I would cut. Maybe some stuff in the beginning with her and the friend. Like, I don't think that all of that stuff is completely necessary. But overall, just a really solid remake. I would say one of the better remakes, up there with The Hills Have Eyes, which I feel like both the big Wes Craven remakes from the 2000s, The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, are actually both better than the originals. I hate to disrespect Wes Craven like that because he's such a legendary horror filmmaker. You know, at least the Nightmare on Elm Street remake was not better than the original. It was not at all. But The Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes were both, in my opinion, guys, especially The Hills Have Eyes. I would love for that to get a 4K from Arrow Video. That would be fantastic. The 2006 remake. But in my opinion, they're both better. So just a solid movie from the 2000s. I don't love horror in the 2000s. It does have that 2000s vibe. It does have that 2000s aesthetic to it. But in my opinion, it stands apart from everything else that was coming out around this time. So yeah, this is a remake that, in my opinion, does age very well. Now, getting into the actual 4K transfer here, this is not a native 4K transfer. This is an upscaled 4K. This movie was shot in 35 millimeters, so I'm not exactly sure why they chose. I'm sure there might be some technical reason, but I'm not exactly sure why they chose to just do an upscaled 4K instead of a native 4K restoration. But I still thought everything looked great. I thought that the black levels were fantastic. They added such depth to the movie. A lot of this movie is set at night and in the rain, so all that stuff looked fantastic. Just crystal clear picture quality. Now, this does have Dolby Vision and HDR10, and that was definitely firing on all cylinders as well. There's a lot of blood in this movie. There's a lot of gore, and when that stuff happens, you can just see how rich and vibrant that the reds of that blood is, and it just all looks fantastic. Some of the outdoor shots in the daytime of the red roof of the house and the red boathouse, all that stuff looks really great as well. Now, it is a very gloomy movie. There's not a ton of colors in this movie. There's a lot of teals. There's a lot of dark greens. There's a lot of oranges, you know, candlelit scenes because the power does go out at some point in the movie. There's a lot, but in the daytime, it's very gloomy. So overall, I was very impressed with the picture quality here on this 4K. Now, granted, the last time I saw The Last House on the Left was on DVD, so it was definitely a jump over this. I think I bought this back in 2010, 2011 when it came out, which this DVD also does include the unrated and the theatrical cut. But yeah, just a great 4K all around. I thought it looked great. Even though it's an upscale 4K, I don't think it takes away from it. I still think it looks fantastic. Now, getting into the audio, this is a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1, and then you also have the Mono 2.0 track as well, and I thought everything sounded great. The score's great in this movie. There's great music. There's great moments of tension. There's a lot of creaks and bumps and bangs when things start really getting rowdy at the end, and all that stuff sounded fantastic on my soundbar. Getting into the special features here, which I was actually very impressed, and this might be the best thing about this release in general. There are a ton of special features in this release, which always makes me happy. Now, the cool thing is that all of these special features are on the 4K disc, so you don't have to change discs. You only have to change discs if you want to watch the unrated version, which is included here as an additional Blu-ray. So definitely cool that they included that unrated version. I know there's some people that will probably complain, you know, why didn't they do the unrated on 4K? But it's just nice that they included it in this set to make it feel more complete. But the theatrical is 4K and the unrated is Blu-ray. But yeah, really nice that all the special features are on the 4K disc. And these are very, very lengthy special features. You know, first off, you have a brand new introduction by the director just talking about this this movie, and this is like 6 minutes long, so it's a very lengthy introduction, and it's very cool to hear him talk about this movie in a retrospective sense. You also get a brand new audio commentary here by David Flint and Adrian Smith. You get 4 new interviews with people that worked on this movie, 2 of the main actors of the film, which is super cool. A River of Blood, a new 31-minute interview with Sarah Paxton, the Notorious Krug, a new 27-minute interview with actor Garrett Delahant, Suspending Disbelief, a new 18-minute interview with screenwriter Carl Ellsworth, so the person that wrote the movie. And then you get a new 33-minute interview with producer Jonathan Craven, Wes Craven's son, on the making of this movie and the legacy of The Last House on the Left. So just some fantastic special features here. You also get a look inside featurette from the film's original 2009 release, so I imagine that is on this release right here, this DVD release. I'm sure that's probably on. That's an archival special feature, but it has deleted scenes, theatrical trailers, image gallery, so all that stuff as well. But yeah, I thought that Arrow Video, they went all out on these special features. These are not just, 5-10 minute interviews. These are like, I think the shortest one is 18 minutes and the longest one is 33 minutes. So it's close to 2 hours of brand new special features here, and also an audio commentary. So this thing is loaded with features. You definitely get your money's worth with this release from Arrow Video. And like I said, it's not just a 1-disc set either. It's a 2-disc set with the unrated cut on the Blu-ray. So, and getting into the unboxing real quick, I've already done the unboxing of this, but I'll go ahead and show you the back right there so I can kind of zoom through the synopsis of the film and everything. If you guys want to see that, special features, all that good stuff. And we'll go ahead and take it out. You got reversible cover art here. This is the original theatrical poster. And on the other side, you have that new commissioned artwork. And I'll show you the back right there. And on the inside, I am a little disappointed you don't get a poster. You usually get a poster with the Arrow Video stuff. I don't know if that was maybe just with my release. Maybe when it goes wide to everybody will get a poster. I don't know. But you get a nice little booklet in here. And you get the 2 discs, both with artwork on it. So that is pretty damn cool. So overall, guys, I highly recommend this release. I think it's worth a pickup for sure. I think the movie's awesome. I actually think it's better than the original. I think that the 4K transfer is really good. Audio's good, but the special features here really sell this release for me because I watched them all and they're all fantastic interviews, and it's just really cool that Arrow Video, 2 hours of brand new special features. You don't see that a lot these days. Even from the boutique studios, you don't see that a lot. So it has to be commended. I think it's worth it. I recommend picking this up. Thank y'all so much for watching this review of Last House on the Left on 4K. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video. Leave me your thoughts on this movie if you're going to pick it up in that comment section below. Turn on bell notifications for all future videos and reviews, and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.